Richard Wayne Van Dyke is an American actor and comedian. His career has spanned over 7 decades in film, television, and stage. Van Dyke is the recipient of a Golden Globe, Tony, Grammy, a Daytime Emmy, and 4 Primetime Emmys. He was inducted into the Television Hall of Fame in 1995 and the Hollywood Walk of Fame in 2012. He was honored with the Screen Actors Guild Life Achievement Award in 2013, the Kennedy Center Honors in 2021, and was recognized as a Disney legend. Van Dyke began his career as an entertainer on radio and television, in nightclubs, and on the Broadway stage. In 1960, he starred in the original production of Bye Bye Birdie, a role which earned him the Tony Award for Best Featured Actor in a Musical. Carl Reiner then cast him as Rob Petrie on the CBS television sitcom The Dick Van Dyke Show from 1961 to 1966, which made him a household name. He went on to star in the movie musicals Bye Bye Birdie, 1963, Mary Poppins, and Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, 1968, and he starred in the comedy drama The Comic. Van Dyke also made guest appearances on television programs Columbo, 1974, and The Carol Burnett Show, 1977, and he starred in The New Dick Van Dyke Show, 1971-74, Diagnosis, Murder and Murder 101. Van Dyke has also made appearances in the films Dick Tracy, Curious George, Night at the Museum, 2006, its 2014 sequel, and Mary Poppins Returns. Richard Wayne Van Dyke was born on December 13, 1925, in West Plains, Missouri to Hazel Victoria, née McCord, 1896 to 1992, a stenographer, and Loren Wayne Cookie Van Dyke, a salesman. He grew up in Danville, Illinois. He is the older brother of actor Jerry Van Dyke, 1931 to 2018, who appeared as his brother in The Dick Van Dyke Show. Van Dyke is a Dutch surname, although he also has English, Irish, and Scottish ancestry. His family line traces back to Mayflower passenger John Alden. Van Dyke graduated from Danville High School in 1944, where he participated in the a cappella choir and dramatic club. His involvement in the drama program convinced him to become a professional entertainer, although he also considered a career in the ministry. Van Dyke left high school during his senior year to join the United States Army Air Forces for pilot training during World War II. Denied enlistment several times for being underweight, he was eventually accepted for service as a radio announcer before transferring to the Special Services and entertaining troops in the continental United States. He was discharged in 1946. Van Dyke received his high school diploma in 2004. During the late 1940s, Van Dyke was a radio DJ on WIN in Danville, Illinois. In 1947, Van Dyke was persuaded by pantomime performer Phil Erickson to form a comedy duo called Eric and Van, the Merry Mutes. The team toured the West Coast nightclub circuit, performing a mime act and lip-syncing to 78 revolutions per minute records. They moved to Atlanta, Georgia, in the early 1950s and performed a local television show featuring original skits and music called The Merry Mutes. Van Dyke's start in television was with WDSU-TV New Orleans Channel 6, NBC, first as a single comedian and later as MC of a comedy program. Van Dyke's first network TV appearance was with Dennis James on James' Chance of a Lifetime in 1954. He later appeared in 2 episodes of The Phil Silvers Show during its 1957-58 season. He also appeared early in his career on ABC's The Pat Boone Chevy Showroom and NBC's The Polly Bergen Show. During this time, a friend from the Army was working as an executive for CBS television and recommended Van Dyke to that network. Out of this came a 7-year contract with the network. During an interview on NPR's Wait, Don't Tell Me program, Van Dyke said he was the anchorman for the CBS morning show during this period with Walter Cronkite as his newsman. In November 1959, Van Dyke made his Broadway debut in The Girls Against the Boys, which ran at the Alvin Theater. The production was a revue in 2 acts and featured performances from Van Dyke, Shelley Berman, Bert Lahr, Nancy Walker, among many others. The production ran on Broadway for 16 performances from November 2 to November 14, 1959. He played the lead role of Albert Peterson in Bye Bye Birdie, which ran from April 14, 1960, to October 7, 1961. Van Dyke starred alongside Chita Rivera, Barbara Doherty, and Paul Lynde. The production received mixed reviews from critics, including from Brooks Atkinson of The New York Times, who praised Van Dyke as likable but opined, "As a production, it's neither fish-fowl nor good musical comedy. It needs work." Despite this, the musical won 4 Tony Awards, including for Van Dyke, who won the Tony Award for Best Featured Actor in a Musical. In 1961, Van Dyke began his film career by playing the role of Albert J. Peterson in the film version of Bye Bye Birdie, 1963. Despite his unhappiness with the adaptation, its focus differed from the stage version in that the story now centered on a previously supporting character. The film was a success. The film starred Anne Margaret, Janet Leigh, and Maureen Stapleton, with Van Dyke and Lind reprising their roles. Variety wrote of Van Dyke's performance, "Van Dyke displays a showbiz know-how far more extensive than his television outings communicate." From 1961 to 1966, Van Dyke starred in the CBS sitcom The Dick Van Dyke Show, in which he portrayed a comedy writer named Rob Petrie. Carl Reiner conceived the program and cast himself as the lead in the pilot, but CBS insisted on recasting, and Reiner chose Van Dyke to replace him in the role. Complementing Van Dyke was a veteran cast of comic actors including Rose Marie, Maury Amsterdam, Jerry Paris, and Morgan Gilbert, Richard Deacon, and Carl Reiner as Alan Brady, as well as 24-year-old Mary Tyler Moore, who played Rob's wife Laura Petrie. Van Dyke won 3 Emmy Awards as Outstanding Lead Actor in a Comedy Series, and the series received 4 Emmy Awards as Outstanding Comedy Series. The Dick Van Dyke Show received positive reviews from its start, with a Hollywood Reporter praising Van Dyke's comedic performance, writing, "Sure to catch on as a new personality is Dick Van Dyke who, though he can play it straight when need be, proves a master of the double take, juicing up to solid laughs what would possibly be just amusing lines with his physical reactions. Yet, he doesn't overmug." In this one, his drunk husband bit was a masterpiece of timing and ingenuity. Ken Tucker of Entertainment Weekly reviewed the series following its Blu-ray box set release in 2012, writing, "The Dick Van Dyke Show certainly wasn't the first sitcom featuring a lead character who presided over a TV show within the TV show. Jack Benny's The Jack Benny Program, among others, had beaten Van Dyke to that. But this was the first sitcom to meld the workplace sitcom with the domestic sitcom so seamlessly. The episodes themselves move with the same smoothness and grace that Van Dyke and Moore did, whether the Petries were clowning, dancing, or romancing. The series had a reunion in 2004 and was aired on CBS as The Dick Van Dyke Show Revisited, with Ray Romano serving as host and Van Dyke, Mary Tyler Moore, Rose Marie, Jerry Van Dyke, and Carl Reiner returning. Maury Amsterdam and Richard Deacon appeared in archival footage, both having died. That same year, Van Dyke was cast in 2 roles, as Bert, a man who goes through multiple odd jobs, ultimately and memorably becoming a chimney sweep, and as bank chairman Mr. Dawes Sr., in Walt Disney's Mary Poppins, 1964. For his scenes as the chairman, he was heavily costumed to look much older and was credited in that role as Knave Keed. At the end of the credits, the letters unscramble into Dick Van Dyke, which was repeated in Mary Poppins Returns. Van Dyke's attempt at a Cockney accent has been lambasted as one of the worst accents in film history, cited by actors since as an example of how not to sound. In a 2003 poll by Empire magazine of the worst ever accents in film, he came in second, to Sean Connery in The Untouchables, despite Connery winning an Academy Award for that performance. According to Van Dyke, his accent coach, veteran actor J. Pat O'Malley, was Irish, who didn't do an accent any better than I did, and that no one alerted him to how bad it was during the production. Still, Mary Poppins was successful on release and its appeal has endured. Chim Chim Cheree, one of the songs that Van Dyke performed in Mary Poppins, won the Academy Award for Best Original Song for the Sherman Brothers, the film's songwriting duo. Well guys, what are your thoughts? Do tell us. Thanks for watching.